this Teddygaming Museum. Welcome back to another review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Tales of Timothy, Volume 2, issue number 35, The Phantom. Now, this issue was one which was all over the place, and I feel like if you know the history with what goes down in Volume 4 of the TMNT stuff, which is a little bit spoilery, then this issue is great and interesting for those kind of reasons, but at the same time, with some bits in this issue, mainly one specific bit, it really makes you question a lot about this issue, if this issue is actually really canon to the Toy Story universe, because there's one bit which really makes you wonder a lot about it. So yeah, let's just get into this one. Okay, so this one is dealing with this old man, and he wants to basically pass on his legacy onto someone else so that they can like continue on his work and part of the Phantoms or something like that. I'm not entirely too sure about all of it. All I know is that there's a bunch of people in maybe the afterlife or something like that, and they will have animals, and yeah, that's about as much as I really gathered from all this. And this man has somehow been able to put his consciousness into the Rat King. So one day, Splinter is just meditating, and when he comes across the Rat King and they're fighting in the astral plane, and we do get to see my Splinter, he goes inside Rat King's mind and try to figure out like who he really is and stuff like that. And I thought, okay, this is like really interesting going down this path, because we don't really get to explore Rat King too much. I think like 2012 was the only other version that like really explored his character outside of the Rat King persona, stuff like that. And I thought that this was like a really interesting route to take it down. And it turns out that in this story that he was once a prisoner or something like that, and somehow he escaped. He got the powers from the guy and he became the Rat King, and that's pretty much all we got to know about it. But with that being said, I just got so many questions about all of it, because when we do take a look at his first appearance, he's a bit more like animalistic and a bit more monstery in a way. Almost as if he doesn't really know anything about like the Rat King stuff and all that, and I just find it so weird that here in this issue, he's like a prisoner and he has full consciousness of what's going on, and he knows that he like has powers of the Rat King and stuff like that. So I just find it so weird that in his first appearance, he's like so completely different. And then when we do take a look at when he met Mark Splinter for the first time in like the Sierra War stuff, like that is interesting and really great for what it was at the time. But when taking into this consideration about that Mark Splinter knew about Rat King then because of this issue, it just seems so weird, and I feel like this issue just undone a lot of stuff, and it made things like 10 times worse for continuity, timeline, characters and stuff like that. But then after that, we do get to see the other Phantoms. They come down and start talking to Rat King, and we do get to see them offer Mark Splinter the role of being Rat King, and Mark Splinter says that like no, because he doesn't want to take that responsibility, and he does ask what's going to happen to Rat King, and they say that, well, he's just going to die. So there's that. And then after that, they say that we will ask you like one more time. When your time is near, when you die, you will be asked this one final time. And we do get to see Mark Splinter's death play over again. But again with that, all I've got to say is like, it's really cool. And I do feel like it does add like a lot more into his death and his character and stuff like that for that specific moment. But also at the same time, because when you look back at that issue, there was like, or I'd say like around that sort of issue, we did get to see Rat King. He was like there in some issues, but he didn't really speak. He was just there for some reason. And again, I feel like that also like complicates the timeline, because he should be dead at that point. Like there's so many questions about it, which I think is great for like questioning and all that, but at the same time, we're trying to keep like a really great continuity and timeline and stuff like that. It's just like, what is going on? And it's just so weird and confusing. But yeah. So yeah, with this issue overall, it was just I mean, I do enjoy it for the questions it does raise, and all the timeline stuff and all the continuity stuff, because it doesn't mean wanting to like figure out all that, which is great, but at the same time, I shouldn't have to do that in a way, because it just made things 10 times worse for all that and a whole lot more, and it just doesn't really, I don't know, it just feels like it just ruins a lot of stuff. And then even when like looking at the artwork, which I mean we talked about this artwork before, and I believe that this person, he's worked on the Archie comics, which you know it can be great, it can be yeah, I mean it can be great. And with this art style, it's like it works well enough for this story, but at the same time, I feel like maybe a different artist might have worked a little bit better. I feel like there was definitely better artists on this series so far that's been able to do a lot more of the magical and astral plane stuff a lot more better, especially like the darker elements. It just feels like it's a bit too cartoony and just a little bit all over the place. And in some places, I don't even say that it just feels like there's like different artists involved, because on like, some pages Raccoon looks really cool, but other pages it looks like he's drawn like an anime manga kind of style. So it's a little bit all over the place in a way, but I can't tell if that works for the better or the worse, but it's there for that. But yeah, I mean overall this whole story is just I do enjoy it. I think that's like the worst part about it is the fact that I do enjoy it, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like Mustminter is a really underused character, and like in stories like this, it's quite cool to see him get more stories, but when it's stories like this, it's just so annoying. And then even with the Rat King, like my still like same problems are there. It's just like it's really great about getting more stories of the Rat King, because well, it's the Rat King and he's one of the like best told villains ever, and yet here it's like really interesting what they're doing with his character, make him into like a magical being, which I do find is pretty interesting, and I do think that the IW comics did take a lot of inspirations from and did adapt a lot better. But when you do take a look at this and what they've done here, it's just so annoying, frustrating and everything like that, and oh god, I don't know what to really say about it. And then also combine that with the like the anime kind of thing, it just really just takes you out the mood of really thinking that he's like one of the biggest threats the Turtles have to face, especially when he has like control of my Splinter and stuff like that. It's just a really hard thing, and I just feel like this whole issue was just a big mess, and there was so many ways they could have solved it, but yeah, they just didn't. They just took the worst possible opportunities they could, and they really went through with it. And well, I gotta give them some credit there. They tried at least, but oh god, yeah, that might be the best way to describe this whole issue, that they tried, they really tried. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about this issue? Do you like it? Do you not? Do you understand the continuity, timeline side of things and stuff like that? What do you think about the anime Rat King? So yeah, that's it for today guys. If you doesn't, please share, let's just grab all stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.